Caitlyn Clark. Ladies, let me tell y'all something. You got to sit up there and pay attention to the rising tide. It lifts all boats. You can go out on the court and go at Caitlyn Clark with the fierceness that your competitive juices demand. But in the process of doing that, you learn to love that girl.
Imagine a world where a single player's presence can shift the landscape of an entire league. This season, we witnessed exactly that with Caitlyn Clark of the Indiana Fever. Despite her early exit from the playoffs, the ripples of her influence are still being felt, and the conversation is heating up. Why? Because the numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark is not just another player, she's the golden goose of the WNBA. Even though Clark and the Fever faced a disappointing first-round playoff exit, the buzz surrounding her talent has only intensified. Analysts claim that her absence correlates with a noticeable dip in WNBA ratings. Stephen A. Smith, one of the league's most vocal supporters, recently pointed out that fans tune in for her. He stated, "With Caitlyn Clark, you find yourself watching the league as well." Stephen A. took to his YouTube channel to dissect this phenomenon. He noted the decent viewership for the Liberty versus Aces matchup, but emphasized it still paled compared to the electrifying numbers during Clark's games. In fact, when Clark played the Sun, the viewership soared to an astonishing 2.54 million, nearly double what the semifinals attracted. This stark contrast proves her draw is undeniable, but it isn't just about the numbers. Stephen A. Smith recently reignited his feud with Hall of Famer Sheryl Swoopes. After Swoopes downplayed Clark's contributions to the Fever's potential, Smith didn't hold back. He called her out directly, saying, "Sheryl Swoopes, take notes. You ain't playing no more. You know good and damn well you had no business talking about the Indiana Fever without mentioning Caitlyn Clark." Swoopes has a history of minimizing Clark's impact, often deflecting praise to other players like Katie Lou Samuelson and Angel Reese. While she has celebrated the talents of her contemporaries, Clark's name often goes unmentioned. This discrepancy has led to tension, with Swoopes even labeling Smith a coward for his critiques. The back and forth raises the question, why the reluctance to acknowledge Clark's groundbreaking achievements? The playoffs this year have been monumental, especially with the Liberty and Aces setting a record for a semifinal matchup. Yet, even with all the excitement, the absence of Clark leaves a palpable void. Her final playoff game drew more viewers than the semifinals, showcasing the stark reality of her influence on the league's viewership. The disparity between her numbers and those of the current semifinals' 929,000 viewers, peaking at 1.2 million, clearly illustrates her exceptional draw.
When did you sort of accept that your life wasn't going to be the same anymore? You weren't going to be able to do like maybe normal people things? Obviously, you want to be a great basketball player, but I don't know if you wanted all of this.
Yeah, I think honestly, probably after my junior year of basketball in college, I think that, but obviously it's kind of grown on a level that's a lot different than when it was then. So I probably still don't really go about my life in the way that I probably should. Like, I still try to do normal things and live as a normal person. Like, my life hasn't changed much. I think just continuing to be aware of your surroundings and what you're doing. And Steve follows me around more over there in the corner. Don't mess with Steve. But no, I think, I'm still 22 years old and trying to navigate life and enjoy everything that life has to offer. Still have fun. That's the point. That's one of the things that has got me to this point, is like, I've had a lot of fun playing basketball, and that's exactly who I am off the court too, is like very easygoing, and I like to have fun. I like to be around people. So I try to do that as much.
ESPN highlighted Clark's rookie season, drawing parallels between her and sports icons like Simone Biles and Serena Williams. While some argue that such comparisons are premature, Stephen A. Smith firmly believes that Clark belongs in this conversation. "Caitlyn Clark got you watching the league," he stated. "It wasn't just about her. It was about who she would face next." As the WNBA moves forward, the effects of Clark's absence become more evident. Ratings have taken a hit since the Fever's elimination, reinforcing Smith's earlier predictions about her substantial impact on fan engagement. With this ongoing rivalry between Smith and Swoopes, one can't help but wonder if another confrontation is on the horizon. Caitlyn Clark's journey is just beginning. While her rookie season may have concluded, the conversations she sparked about talent recognition and influence in sports will linger. As debates around her and her critics continue, one thing remains clear. Caitlyn Clark has redefined what it means to be a rising star in the WNBA, and her impact will echo in the league for years to come. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Caitlyn Clark's impact and the surrounding controversies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more in-depth NBA analysis. Join the conversation in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Caitlyn Clark's influence and the criticisms she faces?
I love this woman. I really do. I love this young lady. I had the pleasure of doing an event with her during Iowa's homecoming, because my man Mark Shapiro for WNBA took me down there, and we were a panelist. 10,000 people showed up. It was absolutely phenomenal. This girl is the best in the world on a collegiate women's level. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody better than her. She is a sensational talent. No question about it. She is the Steph Curry of women's basketball. That is what I call her. How many games is this now? That's her 38th career 30-point-plus game as a college basketball player. She's done 40-plus several times. She's sensational. She's a marksman extraordinaire, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person, incredibly articulate as well. And I think that what you'll see is the WNBA. You'll see people clamoring for her. Just watch the game, because we love the women's game. I enjoyed it when I was at the WNBA finals.